All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, February 15, 2024, and I have a special case study today. This is from a viewer of the channel and a friend of mine. We're going to call them Tom and Jen to protect their privacy. But what they asked me was they're nearing retirement. They're a couple of years out, and they have a mix of savings for their retirement assets. And they want to know what's the best withdrawal sequence to draw from these retirement assets and minimize taxes and all that. So I decided to go ahead and just build a quick tool in Excel to help figure that out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tool, and then I'll walk you quickly through, and then you can download a copy and try on your own. So the cover page gives you all the information you need to kind of fill out everything so that you can do your own analysis. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I'm going to highlight a couple of things on the assumptions page. So by default, it's going to set up for a couple that's married. You can put in their current age, when they're expected to retire, and when they expect to withdraw Social Security. Anything that's in green you can change, and anything else gets updated automatically. For the Social Security, if you can pull your benefits at different ages from your annual statement, when you put it in here, you can simply select a different age from the drop-down here, and it'll automatically update the expected Social Security benefit to show what you would get. And then in terms of assets, it's mostly about savings. So these are all of your taxable savings, whether it's in a CD savings account or after-tax brokerage, your traditional accounts, both IRA and 401k, and then your Roth account, Roth IRAs and Roth 401k. Down here in this section is where you fill out what you expect to see from your different asset buckets. And these are all inflation adjusted. So as an example, if you expect to get 9% a year from your traditional accounts, but you expect inflation to be 3%, then you put this as 6. The reason we do this is that it keeps everything in today's dollars, and it just makes the math a lot easier. And then this last two section right here is where you would put what percentage of your taxable assets are subject to tax. Because if you have a taxable brokerage account, all of your dividends and interest and all of that are taxed as you go along on an annual basis. And when you withdraw, it's a combination of your cost basis, which is what you paid for those investments, and then capital gains. Capital gains is, if it's long-term, is subject to a pretty favorable rate. But for this analysis, I'm not actually doing capital gains tax. I'm just using regular income tax rate. I think it's close enough for our purposes, so just an FYI. This bit right here is if you wanted to do Roth conversions, you can put an income limit here. And for Tom and Jen, we put $94,300. This is going to keep them in the 22% tax bracket. I got this number from the tab that says calculator, tax calculator, and I'm just looking at the income that keeps them right at the 22% bracket. You can, of course, change this as you see fit. Last but not least, if you put in your monthly expenses, it'll do the math for you. It'll calculate what the safe withdrawal rate is. Tom and Jen said that they wanted $5,000 a month to spend. That puts them well within the safe perpetual rate that they'll basically never run out of money. But I'm assuming that they want an after-tax spend of $5,000. So I'm changing this to $6,500, but you can put whatever you like. So once you do that, the sheet will give you a summary for two withdrawal methods. So the first one is the traditional recommendation where they say you should withdraw from taxable assets first, then just regular tax deferred, 401ks or IRAs, and then lastly your Roth. The reason that this is the traditional recommendation is that it uses up all of your taxable assets and leave all of your tax advantage accounts to grow as long as possible. And it does a pretty reasonable job of letting your assets grow, but it doesn't really minimize taxes. And the biggest issue with that is that sometimes you'll get this tax bump. Now, Tom and Jen are only waiting until age 70 to withdraw, so their tax bump is not that bad. It's only 2 years, but if you're retiring early, you could look at a decade of tax bumps once you've depleted your taxable asset bucket, right? So that's the biggest drawback of the traditional method, but it does result in a slightly higher final asset value. The second method is called the proportional withdrawals, and this is basically where you withdraw from your accounts in proportion to what they are. So if you have 25% taxable assets, 50% traditional, and 25% Roth, you would withdraw from those accounts in those proportion. And that's why on the assumptions tab, we have these gray percentages that are automatically calculated. This is something that was popularized, and I'll link to an article from Fidelity, but you can see that it doesn't give you that big tax bump, and overall, it keeps your taxes relatively low. You do give up a little bit of gains because you're withdrawing from your tax advantage accounts, but it's not that bad in the end of, when you look at things on the final value. So what you do is totally up to you, but when you're looking at these charts, you're basically seeing, a bunch of different asset buckets as you go along here for your different ages, and then you see where your taxes are coming from on a federal or state level. This is set up for California. You can go ahead and go to the tax calculator and just update the tax bracket for your state, and you should be good to go. So hopefully this was helpful, and you download the tool and give it a go. And if you have any comments or feedback, let me know. I'll probably make some updates to this down the road and kind of take it from there. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.